Good morning. So today we're going to carry on looking at addition and subtraction, but we're going to be looking at more worded problems. So first of all, just to refresh our memories, can you complete the following additions and subtractions to remind yourselves of how to do it? Pause the video now and have a go. Remember to exchange where needed. Okay, so these are your answers. Well done if you got them correctly. So first of all, you've got 3 add 6, which is 9, 4 add 4, which is 8, and 6 add 3, which is 9. Then you've got 3 minus 5, which you can't do, so you would exchange, turn that 2 into a 1, and give 1 to your 3. So you've got 13 minus 5, which is 8, 1 minus 1, which is 0, and 4 minus 2, which is 2. Then you've got 2 add 1, which is 3, 4 add 5 is 9, and 5 add 6, which is 11. So that makes 1193. Then you've got 7 minus 3, which is 4, 8 minus 9, which you can't do, so you would exchange. So you turn your 6 into a 5 and pass your 1 to your 8. Then you've got 18 minus 9, which is 9, and 5 minus 4, which is 1, which makes 194. Well done if you got those correct. We're pretty confident with these now, so I'm hoping you've got them all correct. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. So it's a two-part question this, so we'll focus on the first part first and then the second part. So Harry has 357 stickers. John has 263. How many do they have altogether? So let's underline our important information. So Harry has 357 stickers. John has 263 stickers. We want to know how many they have all together. So it means all together, so we need to do an addition because we want to know the total amount of stickers that they both have, okay? So you would do 357 add 263, okay? The second part of your question then says, if Harry gives John 83 stickers, how many do they have each now? Okay, so Harry is going to give John 83 stickers. So he's giving them, so we are going to take them away from Harry. Okay, and he gives them to John. So because he's giving them to John, that means that we're going to have to add on to John's total, doesn't it? Because he's going to have 83 more than what he started with. So he started with 263 and he's going to have 83 more at the end. So there we need to do an addition. We need to do 263 add 83. But for Harry, he's giving them to John. So that means that he's going to take 83 stickers away from himself and give them to John. So we're going to have to do 357, take away 83 to work out how many they each have now. Okay, so your first one wants to know how many they both have all together. So you're going to add these two numbers together. And then your second question wants to know how many they each have now, once Harry has given John 83 stickers. Pause the video now and have a go, please. Okay, so first of all then, you've got 357 add 263. So that means that they have 620 stickers altogether. Then we need to know how many Harry has and how many John has. So Harry would have 357 minus 83, which is 274 stickers. And John would have 263 add 83, which is 346 stickers. Okay, because we wanted to know how many they've got once Harry has given John 83 stickers. Well done if you got those correct. That was quite tricky wording for that second part of that question. Let's have a look at this one. Hannah has baked 45 cakes for a bun sale. She sells 18 cakes. How many does she have left? Double check your answer by using an addition. So again, let's break it down. So she's baked 45 cakes altogether. So that means she's got 45 cakes altogether. She sells 18 of them. So if she's selling them, does that mean that she's going to have more or less at the end if she's selling them? It means she's going to have less, doesn't it? So that means that we're going to have to do a minus. So we're going to have to do 45 minus 18. okay, to work out how many she has left at the end. So then we need to double check our answer by using an addition. Okay, so we need to be doing the inverse. So once you've got your answer, to do your addition, you would do your answer plus 18 to see if you've got 45. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, so first of all then, we've got 45 minus 18, which is 27. So we're saying that she has 27 cakes left. So we're going to double check our answer now by using an addition. So I'm going to do 27, my answer, plus 18. So I've got 8 add 7, which is 15. So I put my 5 down, pass my 1 over. 2 plus 1 is 3, add 1 is 4. So I get 45 as my answer, which means that my answer is correct. Well done if you got that as well. Let's have a look at this one. So there are 167 books in one classroom and 392 books in the other. How many books are there altogether in both classrooms? So let's take our important information. So we've got 167 books and we've got 392 books. Whoops. And we want to know how many there are altogether. Okay, so altogether means total. So we're going to have to do an addition, aren't we? So we've got 167 add 392. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, so we've got 167 add 392, which is 559. So that means that there are 559 books altogether. Well done if you got that one correct. Okay, let's have a look at this one now. Now this one you might be panicking about because you can see that there are decimals. But don't worry because I will help you set it out. So Jenny has £5.60. She spends £2.80 on a present for her brother. How much money does she have left? So let's work out our important information. So she starts with £5.60. She then spends £2.80. So she's got £2.80 less now on a present for her brother. How much money does she have left? Okay, so if I'm spending money, am I going to have more money at the end or less money at the end? That's right, I'm going to have less money at the end, aren't I? Which means it must be a takeaway. So when I'm doing my takeaway, which number goes at the top? Is it my larger number or my smaller number? That's right, it's my larger number. So I've got £5.60 and £2.80. So I know that £5.60 is larger than £2.80. So £5.60 is going to go at the top. So don't forget to put your decimal points in. Okay, and I'm going to take £2.80 from it. So I've got £2.80. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my decimal point down here. So what I would like you to do now, I'd like you to ignore the decimal point and do your subtraction as usual. So you would do 0 take away 0, 6 take away 8. Remember, exchange if you need to. The decimal point does not mean that you can't exchange. Do it as normal, pretend the decimal point isn't there. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, so if you do £5.60 minus £2.80, you should get £2.80. So if you've got 0 take away 0 is 0. 6 take away 8 we can't do, so we're going to exchange. So we'll change that into a 4. And we will put our 1 there. So 16 minus 8 is 8. And then 4 minus 2 is 2. Just remember to line up your columns as normal and bring your decimal point down and you will be absolutely fine. So she's got £2.80 left. Well done if you got that one correct. That one was slightly trickier because the decimal point might have confused you. Have a go at this one. I'm not going to tell you whether it's an addition or a subtraction this time. So, Abby collects stamps. She has 351 in a box and 456 in a book. So how many does she have altogether? So let's underline our important information. So Abby collects stamps. So she's got 351 in a box and she's got 456 stamps in a book. So we want to know how many she has altogether. Okay, so think about what that word altogether means. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, so let's have a think about what altogether means. So altogether means the total. So that must mean that we are doing an addition. Well done if you figured that out. So 351 add 456 is 807 stamps altogether. Well done if you got it correct. Okay, so there's 2 points to that one. First one is to make sure that you've worked out that it's an addition, and then it's to complete the addition correctly. Have a look at this one. A shopkeeper has 367 bottles of lemonade. He orders 480 more. How many bottles of lemonade will he have now? So let's have a look for our important information. So we've got 367 bottles of lemonade, and then he orders 480 more bottles. We want to know how many bottles of lemonade he has now. I'm not going to tell you whether it's an addition or a subtraction again. I would like you to try and work it out for yourselves and then have a go at completing the calculation. So remember, he orders 480 more. Pause the video now, please, and have a go. Okay, let's have a look then. So because he's ordering 480 more bottles, the word more tells us that it is an addition. Okay, because we're going to have more than 367 bottles of lemonade. So let's have a look then. So you would have to do 367 plus 480, which would be 847 bottles of lemonade. Well done if you got that one correct. Have a look at this one. So this one we're talking about weight, but don't worry about the G, which means grams, on the end. Just do it as normal and then put your grams on the end. So a packet of lentils weighs 450 grams and a packet of kidney beans weighs 385 grams. How much do they both weigh all together? Okay, so I'm not going to underline your important information this time. I'm going to leave you to have a go at this on your own, and then we will have a look at it together in a few moments. Pause the video and have a go at working that one out. Okay, so our important information then. A packet of lentils weighs 450 grams, so that's important because we're talking about weight. And a packet of kidney beans weighs 385 grams. Okay, so they're both really important. So we want to know how much they both weigh all together. So there's that word all together again. So now from this word all together, we can work out that this is an addition. Well done if you've worked that out so far. Okay, and now we're going to take our two weights, weight of lentils and the weight of kidney beans, we're going to add them together. So 450 add 385, you should get 835 grams altogether. Make sure you put your units of measure on the end. So in this case, your unit of measure is grams. So make sure you put your G on the end to show that you are still working in the same unit of measure. Okay, so this one here is slightly different. So it says, write down three numbers that add up to make 247. So I want three numbers that add together to make 247. So it should look like this with three numbers here. Okay, now I could just pluck three random numbers out of thin air and try and make them to make 247. But I'm not going to do that because that would make it more difficult. So I'm going to do the inverse. So I'm going to do a take away. I'm going to do 247, take away something equals something. Okay, so can you see how I've turned my calculation around? So instead of doing three additions, I'm going to do three takeaways. Okay, so I'm going to start with 247. And I'm going to take a number away from it. Any number at all that's less than 247. So if I take 102 away from 247 first of all, So that's my first number. So 7 take away 2 is 5. 4 take away 0 is 4. And 2 take away 1 is 1. Okay, so I've taken my first number away and I've got 145. So 102. So now I'm going to take away a number from 145. So 145 is my new total. I'm going to do 145. And I'm going to take away another number. Now this time, I think I'm just going to take away 60. Okay? So there's no thought going into what numbers I'm choosing here, just as long as they are smaller than the number you are subtracting from. Okay? So I've got 5 take away 0, which is 5. 4 take away 6, which I can't do, so I'm going to have to exchange. So I'm going to take the 1, turn it into a 0, and make that 14. So I'm going to do 14 take away 6, which is 8. Okay, so that's 85. Oh, sorry, that don't go there. It's 60 that goes there. Okay, because I've taken away 60. I'll write that in blue in a second. Okay, so I chose 60 and took it away. That's my second number. Okay, so now my third number is going to be 85. Okay, because that is a number that I am now left with. And I've got no more subtractions to do. So 85 would go there. Okay, so you are choosing two numbers to subtract. So let's start from the beginning. We've done 247 and I chose the number 102 to subtract. Okay, and then I got 145. So that's my first number to go in my subtraction. So then I've done 145 and then I chose the number 60. And I took 60 away from 145. Okay, so 60 is then my second number to go in my subtraction. I'm then left with 85. So because I've got 85 left over, that would then go in my answer because I've got no more subtractions to do. So what we're going to do now, we're going to try and do the inverse this time. So we're going to put it into our addition. Okay, so we've got 102, add, in fact we'll start from 85 because that will make more sense. Okay, so we're wanting our answer to be 247. We're going to start with 85 and we're going to add 60. Okay, 5 add 0, which is 5. You've got 8 add 6, so put 8 in your head, add 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You've got 145. So now I'm going to take 145 and I'm going to add my next number, which is 102. Okay, so 5 add 2 is 7, 4 add nothing is 4, and 1 add 1 is 2. So I get my answer of 247. Okay, if I write that out as I've written my subtraction out, hopefully it will become a little bit more clear. So I've got 85, add 60, add 102, equals 247. Can you see how this calculation is backwards to this one? So I'm starting with 247 here, I'm finishing with it in this one. I'm finishing with 85 here, I'm starting with it in this one. So it's as if I've read this first calculation here backwards to create my additions. That's called the inverse, okay? So that's how I would do this. Instead of trying to find three numbers that add together, I would subtract from your total first. So I would subtract from 247 and just choose two random numbers, okay? And then your last number then would be your third number. Just make sure that you don't go below 0, because otherwise it will not work. Okay? So what I would like you to do now then is I'd like you to have a go at that. It's the same number. So you've got to write down three numbers that add together to make 247. And I'd like you to see if you can find two ways of doing it. Okay? So I've done one there. Okay, so I've got 85, 60 and 102. I want you to see if you can find two ways. So the first number I'd like you to subtract from 247 is 150. Okay, so that would be number one. So then you'd only have one more number to subtract, and then you'd have your answer. And then see if you can do it a different way. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, let's have a look and see what I got. Now there's lots of different variations here, so if you didn't get what I got, it doesn't mean that you are incorrect. So these are two that I did. So I did 83, add 84, add 80 is 247. And I did 116, add 100, add 31 is 247. Okay, so any three numbers, once you've added them all together, make 247. Double check yours to make sure that you are correct.